Hey guys, just gonna do this quick video about ancient Egyptian religion and where it is in the world now and how it's changed into what it is. Ancient Egyptian religion was a complex system of polytheistic beliefs and rituals, which were part of the ancient Egyptian society. Polytheistic means believing in more than one god, but one creator. It's centered on Egyptians' interaction with many deities who were believed to be present in control of the forces and elements of nature. The practice of Egyptian religion were efforts to provide for the gods and gain their favor. Former religious practices centered around the Pharaoh, the king of Egypt. Although a human, the Pharaoh was believed to be descended from the gods. He acted as the intermediary between his people and the gods, and was obligated to sustain the gods through rituals and offerings so that they could maintain order in the universe. The state dictated enormous resources to Egyptian rituals and to the construction of temples. Individuals could interact with the gods for their own purposes, appealing for their help throughout prayer or compelling them to act through magic. These practices were distinct from, but closely linked with, the formal rituals and institutions. The popular religious tradition grew more prominent in the course of Egyptian history as the status of the pharaoh declined. Another important aspect was the belief in the afterlife and the funerary practices. The Egyptians made great efforts to ensure the survival of the souls after death, providing tombs, grave goods, and offerings to preserve the body and the spirit of the deceased. The religion had its roots in Egyptian prehistory and lasted for more than 3,000 years. The details of religious belief changed over time as the importance of particular gods rose and declined, and their intricate relationships shifted. At various times, certain gods became prominent over the others, including the sun god Ra, the creator god Amun, and the mother goddess Isis. For a brief period, the Pharaoh Akhenaten changed his belief system to monotheism, which is worshiping the one single god called the Aten. The Aten replaced the traditional pantheon. Ancient Egyptian religion and mythology left behind many writings and monuments, along with significant influences on ancient and modern cultures. Atenism, which was the worship of the Aten, the one god. Egyptians did not have a period of which they did have a period of some sort of monotheism in the New Kingdom, in which the Pharaoh Akhenaten abolished the official worship of other gods in favor of the sun disk Aten. This is often seen as the first instance of true monotheism in history, although details of Atenist theology are still unclear. The exclusion of all but one god was a radical departure from Egyptian tradition, and some see Akhenaten as a practitioner of monolatry rather than monotheism, as he did not actively deny the existence of the other gods. He just simply refrained from worshiping any but the Aten. Under Akhenaten's successors, Egypt reverted back to its traditional religion. I'm going to do several videos about Akhenaten and the changes that he made during his reign, so that you guys could understand what they mean by him being the first monotheist in history. At one particular point, everybody in the world was a pagan. Everybody in the world believed in more than one god. So to be the first monotheist in history is to be the first person to worship one god and not a pantheon or a group of other gods. So I'll get deeper into that in its own series. Today's ancient Egyptian religion can be found in African Yobia, Lukumi, and Palomayobi. High priestesses, the Yobia faith, variously known as Aberisha, Orisha Ifa, or simply Ifa, is commonly seen as one of the principal components of the African traditional religions. The Yobia religion comprised the traditional religious and spiritual concepts that were also practiced in ancient Egypt and are now practiced now in the modern world. Its homeland began in Egypt and moved westward into southwestern Nigeria and the adjoining parts of Benin and Togo, a region that has become known as Yobia land. The Yobian religion is formed of diverse traditions that has no single founder. Yobia religious beliefs are part of a group of complex histories, stories, cultural concepts, which makes up the Yobia society. One of the most common Yobia traditional religious concepts has now been the concept of the Orisha. The Orishas are a spirit or a god that reflects one of the manifestations of God in the Yobia spiritual religious system, meaning that it's a component of the creator God. This religion has found its way throughout the world and is now expressed in practices called Lukumi, Santeria, Shango in Trinidad Orisha, Anigo, Oyotuja, as well as in some aspects of Ubanda, Winti, Obi, Voldan, and a host of others. This varies, or spiritual lineages are called the practice throughout areas of Nigeria. Practice in the Republic of Benin, Togo, Brazil, Cuba, Guyana, Haiti, Jamaica, Puerto Rico, Suriname, Trinidad and Tobago, the United States, Uruguay, Argentina, and Venezuela, among other Southern American states. As interest in African indigenous religion grows, Orisha communities and lineages can now be found in parts of Europe and Asia as well. Basically, that is the closest way of life to the ancient Egyptian religion. They do have a lot of the same practices, a lot of the rituals and everything are from ancient Egyptian text and so on. So it's basically a way you can say that it's keeping the religion alive. When the Spaniards came over to the islands and the slaves were brought over to the islands and mixed with the indigenous people, they brought along their traditions and their beliefs from ancient Africa, and they mixed it, and majority were forced to convert into Christianity. So what they did is they put their gods behind the Christian gods in order to hide their true belief system and their true religion, which is where Santeria comes into, mixing Christian saints with the Orisha to hide them behind Catholicism. So in all actuality, all Santeria is a mix, is African deities being hidden behind Catholic saints. I choose not to do that because in this day and age, we don't have to hide. We don't have to hide them behind anything. So I take that very seriously, and I deal with it direct. I don't deal with it through the Catholicism and the hiding behind the Catholic saints. If people want to do that, more respect to them, more power to them. That's their decision. I respect everybody's belief system. But in my eyes, I have to do it the way it was supposed to be done. And that is to do it out in the open and do it and refer to them as who they are and not who they need to be hidden behind. So that's my outlook on that. And I will be doing more videos about the ancient Egyptian religion and lifestyle, if anybody's interested in that. And we'll see where that goes. We'll see how many people are interested. And definitely be making part 2 of this. I hope you guys enjoyed some of the history. And if you guys have any questions, like I always say, please email me or leave me in the comments below. And I will get back to you as quickly as I can. I try to get back to whatever messages I have as quickly as possible. So you guys have a good night, and I hope everybody has a great, great, great Wednesday.